Hello and welcome. I'm Natalie. Let's talk about money. So today we're going to talk about Liberation Day. Trump is all excited about his Liberation Day, April 2nd, 2025. So on this day, President Trump announced a series of tariffs targeting multiple U.S. trading partners. A move that has really drawn varied responses from the media and economic analysts. Of course, it depends on what media outlets you watch, listen to, and read, but we kind of know which direction or what's going to be said depending on which direction you're leaning or your news media is leaning, okay? So these tariffs include, listen to this, 34% duty on Chinese imports, 20% on European Union goods, 10% on products from the United Kingdom and Australia, and a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles. Now, the administration asserts that these measures aim to rectify long-standing trade imbalances and basically rejuvenate domestic manufacturing. That is the goal, is to rejuvenate domestic manufacturing. Trump wants companies to make products here, provide products here in the United States. He doesn't want us getting all of our products from other countries. He wants us to get the products here in the United States. So is that logical? We don't know. Of course, Americans can build whatever it is we need in the world. They can build it. Whether we will or not, or whether we have the employees who will or not, that's a whole different situation. So keep that in mind as we go along here, because I'm going to be quoting some different news articles that I found, and you get to kind of make that final decision on what's actually going on and whether this is good or bad. So let's go ahead and go take a look. Please remember to go ahead and give the video a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you should hit the bell so you know when the next video comes out. So let's go ahead and talk about some tariffs. So there's lots of different media reactions and analyses that are available. And so I'm going to walk through just a couple. I'm not going to go through 86 pages of data. I'm not. It's not me. That's not me. But I'm going to go through a few points that I thought were somewhat interesting. So first is the actual economic impact, which is basically the market volatility that can happen due to these tariffs. So the analysts predict that these tariffs could lead to significant market fluctuations. And this is the part that's scary for those of us that live here in America, buy products in America. Maybe we work for companies that build products that are made from products from other countries. You know, all the things. This could affect nearly everyone. So the S&P 500 has already experienced a decline of more than 8%, reflecting basically that investor apprehension that pretty much the whole country is feeling. So projections indicate a slowdown in the GDP growth down to 1%, and an increase in unemployment to 4.5% for 2025. And they're assuming that people are going to be laid off or fired because companies won't be able to afford the products that are produced in other countries. Therefore, they're going to have to make less product. Therefore, they're going to have less people. Therefore, they're going to have to let some people go. So it's kind of the streamlining of it all. Now, for context, the fourth quarter of 2024, the GDP, the gross domestic product, the economy expanded at an annual rate of 2.4% versus what's being predicted now is 1%. That's 1.4% less than last year. Quarter four is what I should say, quarter four of last year. So, you know, we're gonna see an impact here. It's gonna happen. And then, of course, there are going to be some industry-specific effects. So naturally, the automotive sector will probably be hit the worst. So the 25% tariff on foreign-made vehicles is anticipated to disrupt the global automotive supply chain, potentially leading to higher consumer prices and job losses within the industry. And naturally, if a car goes up by 25%, naturally, that's going to cause quite an uproar, and people aren't going to be able to afford it. Because while in America, you can finance anything. You can finance a $5 t-shirt or a $55,000 car. It doesn't matter. You can finance it. But do people want to pay an extra $5,000 or $7,000 for the car that they already wanted and have been saving for or what have you? So keeping in mind, if you buy a used car, it's already here in America. So perhaps, perhaps you're okay. But that doesn't help the new car market, right? It doesn't help the employees in the new car market. So, keep that in mind. And then, of course, it could also affect or will also affect the agriculture and energy sector, which, so countries like China have retaliated with tariffs on U.S. coal and liquefied natural gas, which could adversely affect American energy exports naturally, and is probably what will happen. There will be this retaliation from many countries, I would have to assume. I would have to safely assume. And, Trump is a deal maker, so I'm sure he will make deals on these tariffs that he's proposing. He did make a deal earlier, when was that? In March, with a couple countries. So, he's a deal maker. Hopefully he'll kind of fix this. I don't, listen, I don't know. And then besides the industry specific effects, we also have the international relations. So there are, the allied responses, basically. So nations such as Australia have expressed major disappointment, noting that despite long-standing free trade agreements, they were not exempted and will have a 10% tariff on their products. Now, we pay when we bring products to them, but they don't pay when they bring products to us currently, which is maybe a little crazy. And so, again, Trump is trying to make it fair, trying to make it even, which makes sense. It makes sense. It's just difficult to swallow all at once. Now, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese criticized the tariffs as illogical and self-harming, stating they would hurt American consumers, which we will see because we're going to see prices go up. It's basically a guarantee that we'll see prices go up. It's just a matter of when and how much. That's really what is at question right now. So then there also could be the potential trade wars. So the European Union and other affected countries are contemplating retaliatory measures, raising concerns about escalating trade tensions and the possibility of a global trade war, which naturally none of us want. Naturally, that would be bad for everyone involved. So again, I'm counting on Trump being the deal guy that he says he is. Although the deal guy is a YouTube gentleman who talks about deals on YouTube. So Trump is not the deal guy, logically. But Trump likes to make deals. So hopefully he can dig us out of the hole that he's thrown us into. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. The Tax Foundation reports that the first Trump administration imposed new tariffs on approximately $380 billion worth of imports, whereas the second administration's tariffs are expected to impact more than $1.4 trillion of imports by April of 2025. We're in April right now, so I don't have the numbers. So I need to see the numbers, because without the numbers, I don't know. These are just guesstimates. I can guess just like anyone else can guess. So keep that in mind. Always keep it in mind, right? Always keep these little details in mind. And Jaspreet from Minority Mindset mentioned that he read that the Trump administration said the new tariffs were estimated to bring $600 to $700 billion, while outside sources said that, BS will be lucky to get even 100 billion. So, the Trump administration is optimistic. We'll call it optimistic, versus some of the more liberal areas are saying, get over yourself. You'll be lucky to get 100 billion. So, there's numbers flying all over the place. We won't know until it goes into effect and we actually know what countries are going to do in retaliation, and if they're actually going to pay the tariffs that we're paying to them. It's a give and take, and we should be based on give and take. However, if everyone is paying too much, that benefits no one. So we need to go in and try to lower the tariffs we're paying, not just increase tariffs on the other countries. We need to lower the tariffs we're paying in other countries. Okay. This is a crazy liberation day. This is a crazy day. So I don't know. In summary, the media underscores that while the administration's intent is to bolster domestic industries, the immediate repercussions include market instability, strained international relations, and potential economic downturns. And when people aren't spending, that's an automatic economic downturn. And that's what's going to happen. If prices go up, people stop spending. This is just a fact of life. This is just the way it works. And analysts and industry leaders caution that these tariffs might lead to increased consumer prices, which it will. There will be increased consumer pricing and job losses in key sectors, which makes sense because if people aren't buying, we're not going to be able to pay the people that are working, so people will have to get laid off or fired or what have you. So that makes sense. And retaliatory actions from trading partners, which also makes perfect sense. If you all of a sudden are going to, put a 30% tax on me, I'm going to retaliate in some manner. However that is, I don't know, but I'm going to retaliate. So all of this could just, further exacerbate the economic challenges that we're already facing. And all of this is just information that's floating around the internet. And, you can find reports one way or the other. So be sure that you look at both sides. Don't just look at one side. Don't just look at NBC. Don't just look at Fox. Don't just look at whatever news channel you normally look at. Look at many of them, or look at one of the independents that show both sides of both stories. So that you can take a good understanding of what's actually happening. Okay. I also would encourage you to check out the Minority Mindset. His YouTube channel is very interesting. He has a daily newsletter that can be emailed to you if you're interested. And it just gives little tidbits every day about what's happening in the market today. It's a finance-based channel. So I'm going to try to remember to link that down below so that you all can check his channel out. It's very interesting. And also, check out my other channel too. You may as well while you're here. It's Natty's Crafts, where I do crafting. If you have no interest in crafting, you may not care because I literally just craft. But if you have any interest in crafting at all, go check it out. I would appreciate it. Don't subscribe unless you're going to watch videos, though. I've learned that to hurt, okay? So watch lots of videos. Watch lots of videos. The watch hours matter. Over there, I have my 1,000 subscribers, so it's not as important as over here. And remember, do not forget, invest in yourself today so you can make a difference for others tomorrow. If you've taken some value out of what I've shared today, please do give the video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you should hit the bell so you know when the next video comes out. Thanks so much, y'all. Y'all have a great one.